Hey there everyone, Lord Rigid here with another episode of Aether Raids Offense. Today's video covers the recently completed light season. I had a fairly smooth season myself, although I actually did take one loss in about the middle of the week. I was playing super recklessly and it was actually a prison setup, which was super embarrassing because prison setups are supposed to be ridiculously easy. And yeah, so that was unfortunate. You'll see that in the battle dump tomorrow, so for now, let's go ahead and get into today's matches. The first map up is a mostly three houses themed box style setup. There's a bit of rally element with Shamir carrying rally speed, but it doesn't really look like it's a rally trap so much as it just is trying to prevent her from attacking something without her solo bonuses active. Say if you were to try to bait from the space to the right of the armor school, Shamir can only attack from a space adjacent to the right hand Sothis. So if she doesn't deal at least 5 damage, then she could instead use her rally on Sothis. I believe there is a distance from the enemy tiebreak when deciding rally target, but I don't know if there's any rules before it that would cause her to target Flame instead. But if she does that, and then she could get the refresh from Berkut, and that opens up some more options where she could attack with her solo bonuses and not die to a counterattack. Structurally speaking, the weakest spot is the space below the defense fortress. If you were to break the flower bed structure and place a unit there, you could bait out pilots for free. Of course, she has Wind Sweep. It's the classic Wind Sweep variant, but any old dragon or a fast enough unit to prevent getting their counterattack neutralized by the Wind Sweep should be able to deal with that. In fact, I would say that the biggest composition weakness that this team has is to a fast red unit. Shamir is fast, but without her solo bonuses, she's not all that fast. And Flame does have mitigations, but a fast enough sword, especially a mitigation, one built for mitigation like Spurn or Close Call, that sort of thing, should be able to take on the Shamir fairly easily and then survive the rest of the enemy phase. I'm going to go ahead and send in the Cedar raiding party for this battle. The Caduceus Staff on Flame helps dissuade player phase approaches, but in this case what it actually does is it prevents Cedar from one-hit KOing Shamir, which means that she will be able to activate Gale Force and move on to attack the Flame as well. So let me go ahead and give her a refresh, and wait a minute. Hold on, let me just check this real quick. There is a chill speed. Nuts. I did not give Azura the +3 speed buff from Gentle Dream, so Cedar has highest speed. So I can't initiate this turn. I'll just take some time to set up. It's not really the end of the world. It's a pretty quick map after the initiation. So let me go ahead and take care of this. What was I saying? I was saying something about why it's okay to take out Flame. It's okay to take out Flame because Berkut does not die to Sita, which means that I will still have plenty of time to grab the Aether structures after on the subsequent turns. So let me go ahead and give Sita a refresh now that I've got both her and Azura lined up with Peony. Smite Sita onto that real heavy trap, doesn't affect her, just doesn't matter since she's one space away from Shamir anyway. But, oh well. So now she can go ahead and take out both Shamir and Flame. Interestingly enough, she was just shy of that one-hit KO on the Flame, but oh well, doesn't really matter. I'm expecting Berkut to attack first. He doesn't die. Neither does Miracle Sothis, but Berkut deals more damage. And then after that, Viola should attack. Unfortunately for her, she's not fast enough to prevent Ceda's counterattack with Wind Sweep because, partially because of Ceda's Rain, partially because I have an actual speed boosting defense or offense mythic, whereas poor Viola just had 2 Sothises. So I can take out the Aether structures now. And then after that, I want to get this tactics room taken out because Ceda cannot take out the Berkut on her own. But first, let me go ahead and move Azura here. And what that does is it gives her a +3 def buff. She and Ceda both tie in defense, and they are the highest defense on the team. So with +3 buff on Azura, then Ceda just takes 7 less damage since she won't get hit by Wagasa's chill def effect. Not just a minor optimization, really, just something I do because I can. I think Air should be able to do this now with Iceberg and penalties. Yes, beautiful. Alright, and that is the map. The second map is a box-style infantry pulse setup with enough infantry pulse to get Alphonse's Open the Future fully charged and Bramimon's Luna and Norn's Moonbow down to 1. I would say that the biggest structural weakness is the breakable block on the right-hand side, since only Bramimon can target that from all of the units' starting locations. The first thing that actually happens here is that Norn will provide a rally, or perhaps if you've applied penalties to Bramimon, Ike may use Harsh Command first. I'm not exactly sure what the priority order is. But whichever the case, that unit, the assister, will immediately get Nils' refresh. Which means that it means that when the rest of the enemies advance, that refresh isn't available. Additionally, the Bates location is outside of the range of Frost Breath, so no penalties there either. So once Bramimon advances, the rest of the enemies will move forward, and if the melee enemies are threatened, then Alphonse may use his reposition, putting himself on the forefront of the enemy lines, which basically just makes it a lot easier to take on the enemies one by one, instead of having them all rush you at once. So hopefully that strategy provides you a nice way to hopefully cruise to a relatively easy victory. I'm going to go ahead and send in the Glimmer Gang for this battle. I'm going to do a bit of a two-pronged approach here, with Lysithea taking out Hell to get the enemies moving, and then I'll have Cecilia in the range of Alphonse and Bramimon to bait them out. She's actually capable of one-shotting both of them, which is really nice with her solos active, and especially since the refresh reposition operation I will be doing to take out the Hell will put Peony in position to support Cecilia with both Drive Attack and Flower of Joy. So let me go ahead and get a little bit of prep work done first. I'm going to go ahead and have Lysithea take out the Aether Amphore, and then after a refresh, I'll just move her 2 spaces down. No need to use reposition on Peony. She is safe, and this way I can use have Freya use Smite on Lysithea next turn to get my approach going. So let's see here. Nils's pulse, or even pulse tie, comes into effect, but whatever. Lysithea has times pulse, so she basically just says nope to that. Hell's weapon does not work on tome users, so Lysithea is able to get a one-shot off there, and then a refresh and reposition gets everybody to safety. And finally, I just plop Cecilia down right there. Interestingly enough, even though she would survive attacks from both of them, her Vantage will allow her to take out, looks like Bramimon, since Alphonse is attacking first, because the Hardy Bearing user is actually Ike. I'm not 100% sure what the rationale is behind that, but oh well. So let's see here. Norn should advance next, and then Nils goes after her. Okay, unfortunately, I got the prediction on Nils' positioning wrong, so he's not isolated. Fortunately, looks like Lysithea is able to destroy the Norn with her Glimmer activations. Let me go ahead and do that, and actually I'm just going to go ahead and do this same thing, a refresh and reposition operation to get them out to safety, and then just move Cecilia back. I believe, actually, that Nils should move first, he's closer to targets. But even if Ike goes first, then there's no danger here. All my units are safe. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like here. She can't one-shot with, but she doesn't have her solos. So I have 2 options here. After taking out the Ike, I could refresh Lysithea and then have her move just to the space to the right of Nils, so Cecilia gets her solos, or possibly take him out right here? Okay, good. She does have the capability to do that. Perfect, I wasn't sure since she doesn't get all of her Hades Omega bonuses. But she does manage to take him out, rather, so that's a pretty quick finisher to this map. And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raids Offense. Next week we will be going back into Astra Season for what will hopefully be another smooth cruise week of 6-unit teams, and of course Regan. Naga will be my bonus unit, so that might actually be interesting because the Claude and Merida raiding parties use Altina as a bit of a support and a kind of almost a secondary tank. So they won't have that this upcoming season, so we'll have to see if that affects anything. Of course, it may just be another week where I deploy Dragon Wagon for every battle, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it goes. In any case, that's all I have for you today. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.